scene 2. Alright, that's working perfectly fine. But it's this one we're interested in. Let's pop it back to trading view. So I'm right now in a long position. Up in profit, that's for sure. Because I saw that ES took out Asia and London sell side. Right now the time is 9:20 with that 8:30 news dump to the downside, we could call it. While NQ actually also had this dump to the downside, but it had a much easier time to recover. Inversion fair value gap, retested the fair value gap, and shot to the upside. Now having hit buy side and our high of the day. So keeping that in mind, I was sitting in front of the charts, getting ready for the live stream. I saw that yes, it's doing something similar. I might actually, what's the time now? 3:22. Since NQ hit buy side now, let's draw up our fair value gaps like every time. This morning we also traded the London kill zone. If you missed that, there's a recording for that on YouTube. Bearish fair value gap. And our inversion fair value gap. So we have strong SMT divergences at the high. I think that should be pretty obvious. Just making sure I'm not missing anything because I'm trying to participate in a little competition, you could say. I also can't stream forever today, so it's gonna be a rather short live stream. I might jump on for a PM session later on, because I have something else to do later on throughout the day. What means later on, starting at around 4 PM. I know it's pretty rough, but that's why I decided to jump on a London live stream early in the morning for all the VIP members, so they are covered. Let me actually pull up the YouTube live stream. Hope you guys can understand. I've been streaming every day this week, also for free on YouTube. Today is just not the day where I'm gonna be streaming until 11 or sometimes even 12 PM New York local time. We have news at 9:45. We will see how this sets up now since NQ hit the target. It's 9:25 now. Let me see. NQ is shooting back down after ES hit our bearish fair value gap right up here. No, stream is running smoothly, so no issues with that. Let's wait for 9:30 to open up. Keep in mind we have news coming in at 9:45. Our SMT divergence. Like always, Fridays aren't the typical days for me where I'm looking forward to make the most amount of profit for the week. Fridays for me are about capital preservation, securing my capital, making sure I don't blow away the entire profits I made this or throughout the week. Not looking to bank big time on Fridays. in terms of sell side to the downside, yeah, we would have more sell side to the downside and our previous day's low. We'll see what we're going to do here. 9:30 is about to open up in 3 minutes. NQ is rejecting from the high with bearish SMT divergence. Yes, didn't get back up into that high. And actually heading south. Good morning, Kuch. Good morning, Fady. Right, this is pre-market, pretty bearish. Inversion fair value gap, bullish fair value gaps disregarded. NQ hit the target. That's when I took some profits off this trade. The rest has been stopped out at break even. I entered long right around here. Just had a gut feeling since I saw NQ pushing so strongly. Now it's 9.25 and we just keep on selling off. That's crazy. Back in the new day opening gap. This would have been quite the opportunity here on NQ. Stop hunt, quick 60 points pre-market. I will be around until roughly 10 p.m. New York local time. We'll see. I keep everyone up to date. So not for long. That's why I had a live stream earlier this morning during the London session. I uploaded the recording to that onto YouTube already. Less than 1 minute to go until the New York Open. Let's take a look at the DXY. 40 seconds to go. Four, 3, 2, 1, and New York opened up. And we can see right at the open how NQ is initially pushing to the upside while ES is pushing to the downside. How strongly NQ is pushing to the upside here. Initially, ES took out the low of the day again, right here, this wick. How NQ keeps on pushing. Interesting. Look how strong NQ is here, and ES still being all the way at the low. So right from the get-go we have big SMT divergence. Couldn't be much stronger actually. Mm -mm -mm. Okay, so now ES is following, but also not really. NQ is still messing around with equal highs above and equal lows below. But the XY seems like, yeah, going higher, but well, that doesn't have to mean much. Now NQ is rejecting. Not many fair value gaps around that we can use right now, so we're just gonna stay alerted and focused. Best thing we can do. We're at the low of the day. That's our best indication for what we might be doing. Where's the 930 open? Right here. So far on ES, all we did was go sideways. Can open up NQ here to the right. On NQ, 930 opened up. Right here, we didn't take buy side, but we sure as hell pumped to the upside. Open up with a little volume imbalance here. That's a new 5-minute candle, so we've got a new 5-minute bearish volume imbalance here. Let's see if we want to use that to continue lower. That's Wednesday's new day opening gap. But we're right in between and we have news coming in 10 minutes. That's rather tricky. You can see again NQ is pushing to the upside. I don't like this open at all. Typically when ES and NQ are doing completely different things, that's a bad sign. Or at least not the best sign. So we see NQ is pushing. While ES is still dropping. Alright, so NQ took out buy side again. Yes, is still hesitating to continue lower. Well, let's see what happens if we smash down now on NQ. That would be interesting. But if we continue to go up, that's just super weird. Like, look at the point movement on ES compared to NQ. News in 8 minutes. You can see that NQ wants to push. It keeps on pushing. While ES is still stuck down at the low of the day, which is rare to see. So I guess we're just gonna wait for news to pop in. TXY pushing back to the upside. And Q keeps on respecting bullish value gaps and continues higher. That's something more bullish than bearish. Let's see if ES can finally catch up. Yep, makes another higher high. Well, ES is still, dingling around here. Might be setting up for something during news. We'll see. 9:45 a.m. Keep that in mind. And yeah, right now NQ and ES couldn't be much more different. ES being at the low of the day, NQ being at the high of the day. Bit sketchy to me. One of them is wrong, and we're gonna know which one very likely once we hit news. Once the news candle is coming up. Is ES being held down because they want to accumulate more at the low to take it back into buy side? Or are they distributing NQ positions because with news we're going to continue lower? That's the question right now. Potential market structure shift. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Break in structure. Okay, we didn't confirm it yet. Looking good. Right, NQ is really shooting to the upside and keeps going up. Yeah, really, without hesitating at all. What's the 5 minute on NQ looking like? Where are we at? But those two perfect equal lows, they look kind of sketchy to me. It all depends anyway if you're interested to engage prior to the news event. I really wouldn't be. But if you think you have a good bias and a decent setup, then yeah, sure, why not? Just do good risk management and you'll be fine. That's the previous day's high on NQ. We're reaching for something, that's for sure. Can feel it, how bullish NQ is right now. But it can change within a second. Can really do. It would be our confirmed market structure shift at the low of the day here on ES with our bullish value gap right here. 944, so that next candle is going to be our news candle. Let's see if that market structure shift here was a early indication or if it's just a fake out. And we continue lower. 20 seconds before news, 9:45 a.m. New York local time. NQ being at the high, ES being at the low of the day. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see how we go. Yes, looking bullish initially. Might not have an impact at all either. But could. So far, not much of an impact from what I can see. I mean, yeah, it's moving. Moving to the downside. We still have that fair value gap here. This bullish fair value gap, that's what I'm talking about. That's our market structure shift bullish fair value gap. But that's just stuff we see on a 1 minute time frame. We keep an eye on it. Would be nice to see news actually playing out. This would be our breaker block. Still respecting that bullish fair value gap. NQ reversing from the high of the day. Gonna keep a close eye on that. Seems like we're gonna fail it now. Yeah, we close below the bullish value gap. Let's see if we continue lower. On NQ we do. We might get a market structure shift coming in right here at the high of the day. Check out the 5-minute time frame here on ES shortly. Okay, we tapped 5-minute bearish and we're just heading lower. Send it. Let me check out the YouTube live stream right now. I've been focusing. Good morning, guys. I haven't tried it a lot. The Apex Trader Investing Trade Copier. Right now I'm trading from off my phone with funding pips. And not with the Apex Trader Investing Copier. Let's see, this would theoretically be an inversion fair value gap. Bearish fair value gap on NQ. This would be a 2022 model in my eyes. Take sell side, shift structure, bullish fair value gap. Some people also call it unicorn. Nice rejection wick here. Yeah, super tough morning to say which direction we are going to go. Honestly, hard to tell. NQ being at the high of the day, yes, at the low of the day. If you want to short, I would short NQ. If you want to long, I would long, yes. Both of these assets are at the extremes right now. What do you guys think? Short or long? I'm not gonna be on for much long, for only for 10 more minutes. Then I'm gonna call it a session. Are we gonna see more continuation to the upside on both NQ and ES? Pretty tricky New York Open, at least here with ES. We haven't seen many inefficiencies, fair value gaps that have been used and being used as support or resistance. Right now our best call would have been that breaker block, but we already closed below it really. We have our market structure shift, we closed above it, bullish value gap, we closed below it, and we see resistance from that area. While on NQ we have really been moving nicely. On some days that's just what it's like. Let me check out the stream. You're in the short yawning queue, yeah. Fair enough, that's totally reasonable from the high of the day. Would also be totally reasonable to go long on ES here at the low of the day after taking out all the sell side. So there are two different things at the moment. It's hard to say which one is the one that's correct. Could argue, yeah, ES wants to turn around here and take out the previous day's high or just some old buy side, fill inefficiencies being left behind. And then Q is also just continuing up higher to take out more of the buy side we left behind yesterday. We will see. Let me check out the chat in the Discord live stream. Yeah, I agree with you, Omar. Could go either way. We don't really care. So no, what's interesting to me is that we're back above the fair value gap and we didn't take out the low here again on ES. So let's see if we keep on using it as support to revisit VWAP, old inefficiencies. After most of the time here going sideways after the New York Open. Took out high again right here. But unfortunately, time is of the essence, at least for this New York live stream today. So I won't be streaming for much longer. I have time until 10 p.m. New York local time. And that's about it. That's why I jumped on the London live stream this morning with all the VIP members. I recorded it on YouTube. Haven't really been getting a lot of nice price action during London. We took only longs this morning. But yeah, also it didn't really respect the inefficiencies that were left behind and stuff like that. So we decided to cut trades and then we entered again long. Ending up with, I think, $50 in profit on the funded account. At least something. Let's see what we do now with this new 5-minute bullish fair value gap that we have left behind. This one right here. If we break through that again and close below after taking buy side, after taking at least a short-term high. Yes, right now could be in that consolidation mode. Nice. That's what we would like to see from a bullish fair value gap. That's what we would anticipate. But yeah, right now PA just isn't really favorable. Of course, that could change with a quick explosion. If we look at the 5-minute time frame, so far the New York Open hasn't really been going anywhere. Comparing that to the 925 candle, this has been a nice momentum candle with movement to the downside. Right now we're just piercing into our 5-minute bearish value gap here. So this entire range would be a 5-minute fair value gap. Back below our bullish value gap. Let's see how we close. Looks like we're gonna close below. And we close below our bullish value gap again. That's just where I'm starting to lose more and more of my interest. Consolidation. Not a fan of it. Exactly at the low. Could go either way. Same thing happening on EU right now. And I don't like the difference between NQ and ES. NQ being at the high, ES being at the low. Let's see, maybe something pops up. Did we take out the low? No, not just yet. That market structure shift didn't work out. Now we took our first low. Now we move back to the upside. Madness. Bearish value gap right here. But we're in chop on ES. It's not worth engaging. Of course, if you want to poker and you have a high conviction that we're going to break to the upside, well, then you know what to do. We just took this low right here. This is our bearish fair value gap. And this would be our inversion fair value gap. No. Inversion fair value gap right here. So yeah, theoretically we would anticipate lower prices from there. On the 5-minute time frame, yeah, that's what we're working with here on ES right now. Let's go to the 5-minute time frame on NQ. Exactly the opposite, as if I would have inverted one chart. Pretty crazy. What's the time? Oh, it's already 10 a.m. So that's a new hourly candle. That's why we saw that momentum back to the upside after taking a short-term low. Tricky, 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 tricky. Same goes here for EU. Yep, we're just in shock. Especially on ES. Not even the news release could do anything with price. If we wouldn't know there was a news event at 9:45, well, we wouldn't really be able to tell. That's the news candle. As if it's not even, there. You wouldn't know which one would be the news candle. Not respecting any of the fair value gaps, that's very common. Within a consolidation, the question is, where are we going to go from here? Could look at the higher time frame for some guidance. Right now the higher time frame looks bearish. If we go to the 1 hour time frame, we would assume it's gonna continue lower unless it has some more business to do up here. A 5-minute time frame, yeah. Perfect barcode. And 1-minute time frame, up, down, up, down, up, down. NQ is pushing now. But as of right now, ES is still respecting the bearish fair value gap, overlapping with our inversion. We can get back above it, but well, so far this entire morning we haven't been respecting inefficiency, so I would wait for confirmed breakout to one direction and then try to get in with the trend on a little inefficiency. Once we leave this entire range here on ES, that would be more appropriate. EU heading lower, we have the previous week's low, or previous week's high, I think. Yeah, sitting right here. And the low of the week, I would anticipate for EU to continue lower, gut feeling wise. All right, we're pushing. Still inside our inversion fair value gap. So nothing to get excited about. Yeah, traders brace for chaotic triple watching Friday as 5 trillion in expiring option collides with index rebalancing mania. Well, good to know. Why even bother trading at that time if it's... We already see the early stages of that. Of course, we won't consolidate for the rest of the session. Eventually, we get a breakout. Who said the same thing earlier on the Discord. Yes, price action today was a open invitation to be content. Very right, Omar. Content with the profits we've made this week. Let's see if we can close back above our inversion fair value gap. And our current new day opening gap, is it? Yeah, that's our new day opening gap. On a 5-minute time frame, still chop. Not showing us anything here. On the 15-minute, we had a 15-minute bearish, that's where we rejected here from initially. Still not closing back above our inversion fair value gap. But we closed above our bearish fair value gap, and that's really, wouldn't be surprised if we now immediately close back below it. I think he wants to go higher. A good target would be that previous day's high here. Keep in mind we have perfect equal lows residing here at 16,756. Perfect equal lows to the tick. Take a short-term low and push to the upside. 3, 2, 1. And immediately switch gears. Once again, leaving perfect equal highs here on NQ. Not respecting any of the areas. As if they know what we're up to with value gaps, and then closing above them and immediately taking it away. Too funny. Closing back below it, opening up with a bearish volume imbalance. Mm-mm-mm. 10-10, that's a new 5-minute candle here, if we keep track of the time. Yeah. EU in that same consolidation, the DXY is also in that same consolidation. Yeah, nothing to get excited about here, really. Now we're moving back to the upside. See if this fair value gap is being respected. If not, that's really going to be the end for the stream. I have to get going now Anyway, it's Friday. I didn't really engage on any of this, so why even bother? Of course, eventually we're gonna break and we maybe even see some, half decent price action, but I don't really care about it if I'm being honest. The way we've been trading here it's just not what I'm looking for. And now we're immediately back above our bearish fair value gap. NQ is also pushing back to the upside. Well, maybe hang around for a little bit in case we're gonna get a breakout now, but well, let's look at the short-term high. I think NQ just took buy side another time while ES is still within our barcoding session. Right here. Cleared that. So let's see if NQ actually shows some strength and gives us some confidence that it might actually want to continue higher. Possibly targeting that previous day's high. Or if we took buy side one last time before rejecting and heading towards the equal lows. Two bullish fair value gaps without taking the short-term high right here. NQ took it though. Let's see. If for the first time we start to respect inefficiencies, that would be a good sign. If not, that's going to mark the end for the live stream and for my trading this week. NQ keeps on pushing. Now with a close above buy side liquidity. Alright, seems like we're starting to respect. And we might be ready for a takeoff. Now we're right at the VWAP. We took out the high again. A 5-minute time frame. Yeah, hasn't really been respected, so I'm not going to take a look at it. This is a pretty big 5-minute bearish fair value gap, and we also just tapped the consequent encouragement of that. You're down 2.7% for the week. What caused that drawdown? over trading. I mean, it could happen within a range like this, where you think it's gonna break out and then it's turning around and you have to close immediately. Or just because you had a little... Yeah, of course, Omar, I agree with you. We could dump the highs that we've just taken, but right now, it doesn't really look like it wants to do that. We keep on closing above buy side, and we have old targets from yesterday that could, yeah, potentially be run, like the previous day's high. So kind of expecting a nice market maker. Hang on, I'm just... Nope. Still hitting a wall here on ES. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna to leave it here like it is until we get any good confirmation for a sign of weakness here on NQ. I don't think we're gonna... Well, this might be just that last pump. The market structure shift would really come in once we close below this low. But right now, yeah, would be a counter trend without many confirmations. At least here on NQ. We have more buy side that could be targeted. Right here, if we head over to yesterday's PA, this buy side right here, we already took some buy side. But even on the 5-minute time frame, why would you want to fade this long to the upside? We saw better setups this week, so it's not worth the risk just because you desperately want to engage on a trade and make some profit. And like I said, we have lots of options expiring this today. My volume should be... No, my microphone is plugged in. I can... Does anyone else has this problem? No, should be fine. I'm talking right into my mic, so should work. Maybe put me on speaker, connected to a Bluetooth speaker. Consolidating just below the VWAP here. Let's see if we can get that break above and then maybe run towards the midnight level with a nice market maker buy setup, the consolidation at the low of the day. Or if we're gonna dump. Okay, volume is good for you. Thanks for that comment. Right, we keep on pushing. but we reject once again from that 50% level of our 5-minute bearish. It's still overruling. And if we look at the 15, we're also right inside that 15-minute bearish. They're not really going anywhere right now. Same for NQ, also, yeah, consolidating above the high. Tricky session. Reminds me more of a London kill zone than a New York kill zone, especially this week. I guess this could be a fractal market structure shift here. Above buy side, took out the short-term high one more time. Displacement. Let's follow it on ES and see if we keep on disrespecting bullish value gaps. If we keep on doing that, I'd look for lower prices. But that's gonna mark the end for the live stream. Let's see. Still respecting that bullish value gap. Well, EU is also in decent job, we could say. Whoa, yeah. 5-minute time frame. Same goes here for ES. But right now it seems that we are starting to respect bullish inefficiencies, and that's a good sign. We have equal high buy side above. So that's still good. I think you didn't have a bullish value gap here. We could look at the 5-minute time frame, maybe on the 5-minute. Nope, not even on the 5-minute. Pushing almost got the high. Okay, so now we took buy side right here, equal high buy side on ES. Let's see if we now for the first time manage to close above our consequent encouragement, at least on a 1-minute time frame. This might be the beginning of bullish order flow. I'm in long since this bullish value gap here, bullish volume imbalance. So let's see, buy side target really. That first one would be right up here. I don't short at the low of the day unless I see good enough confirmation. So I was only looking for longs on ES. I'm not trading in Q most of the times. So yeah, right now just want to see if how bullish we are. If bullish order flow is being respected or not. We have higher targets on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been bullish this entire session, this entire morning session. While ES has been rather, yeah, rangy. Barcoding here, especially if we go to the higher time frame. But we might get the relief now. We'll see. Take it one point at a time. Unfilled volume imbalance. I'd expect that to hold support now. Tapping back into it. Now we filled that unfilled volume imbalance. Paired with a bullish fair value gap. So following bullish order flow, we should see support here. If we want to deliver into further buy-side targets. Volume imbalance. Another bullish fair value gap right here. And a 5-minute close coming with that next bullish candle. So that next candle is going to be the 5-minute close, ideally above our consequent encouragement. And we can really start to notice that bullish order flow is now being respected. We fill the volume imbalance paired with the fair value gap, and we continue to the upside, well, at least for a short time. EU is still in its chop. So that's the last two. Okay, we close above the 50% here on the 5-minute time frame. Let's see if that helps. It's an early sign. And Q keeps on pushing. Sorry for the shorts. Filled in that highest bullish fair value gap. If we keep holding that, no doubt in my mind that we're gonna reach for buy side liquidity right here. Let's see. Oh, it's 4:30. We still respect our inefficiencies. Good to see. But CNQ starting to reject a little. But yeah, like I said, bullish order flow, we're respecting it. Started here with our first bullish share value gap, went sideways, leaving behind new inefficiencies, and so far respecting it. And even look at the closing prices here. I mentioned this unfilled volume imbalance, and we never actually closed below it. Holding support, continuing to deliver up higher. The time is 10:33, so right here we're going to get a new 5-minute candle. We might even close above our 5-minute bearish, which would even confirm bullish order flow more. EU is still in its death trap. The XY is slowly pulling back. Equal highs, 10:34, that's that last minute of that 5-minute candle right now. Thinking fractal in a fractal sense. So right now on the 5-minute we see, okay, we closed above the 50%, we retested that 50%, and if we're breaking it down to what we see on the 1-minute time frame, bullish share value gap with a unfilled volume imbalance. So this is going to be the last 1-minute candle of our current 5-minute candle. If we're going to close above right here on this 1-minute candle, we see a candle closing above our 5-minute bearish share value gap. Only 5-minute fair value gap that's potentially separating us from this buy side liquidity. But looks like we're not going to get there just yet. One. Also starting to see some sense of SMT divergence here. NQ failing to make higher highs, while ES is now actually the stronger one, pushing, making higher highs. Check out the 5-minute time frame. No inefficiencies since 9:30 on the 5-minute time frame at all. On the 15-minute we closed above. Now we're back inside this 15-minute 8:30 a.m. bearish fair value gap. Still on the same long. Didn't get any confirmation that we are starting to disrespect bullish order flow, at least for the short term right here, for this move to the upside. We're above the VWAP now. Have two potential fair value gaps to invalidate short-term order flow. Otherwise, yeah, we have our target set. Buy side, and our high of the day, potentially previous day's high, which would be a decent run. But so far in terms of the 9:30 a.m. movement, 15 points, not too bad for ES. But only possible if you trade the 1-minute time frame. Everything else would have been, yeah, maybe long here because we cleared the low of the day, but everything else. We're on a good streak here, pushing to the upside, even on the 1 hour time frame. I'm not trying to predict it now where it's going to go based on a higher time frame. I prefer just to go with the flow and see what I get on the 1-minute time frame. During consolidations, we do not typically respect inefficiencies. I mean, we've seen that plenty of times. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. That's the definition of consolidation. And yeah, once we leave that consolidation, we start to respect inefficiencies, and we see it respect right here. I entered on that retracement, got my entry somewhere around that area on the funding pips account. We continued up higher, starting to respect bullish order flow, bullish inefficiencies or discounts being left behind. To the tick actually, if we consider closing prices and this unfilled volume imbalance. EU looks like it's moving now again. Same for the DXY here on the 15-minute time frame to the upside. So it might go against us, but no, we'll see. What's the time? It's 4:39. I didn't plan on staying for so long. I'm going to play some poker with a few friends later on. Gonna have to sort out a few things before that, but since now we're in that favorable price action, bullish order flow, I'm gonna stay until we break it. Bullish volume imbalance. Starting to lose some steam with the DXY trying to push here. Let me see. Let me open up the YouTube chat. My status on the funding pips account, it's sitting at 52k. Let me bring that over here. Let me make this small. So 4% in profit over the past week. Right here. Mm, 5-minute time frame. No 5-minute inefficiencies. Yeah, let's just be patient here. We keep putting in higher highs and higher low. No, equal highs actually on ES and lower highs on NQ. Interesting. Let me take a quick look at NQ here and go to something like a 15-minute time frame to just see where we're at on NQ. I don't think it's going to turn around on us and hit those two perfect equal lows before we take out that previous day's high. Doesn't show me any bearish signs here on the 15, not even on the 5. We're just going sideways here. We want to make sure that we're not getting too affected by what we see on the 1 minute time frame. But on the 1 minute, there's a potential for a break in structure paired with a bearish fair value gap, if you like that. Not good enough for me personally, because I'm missing that higher time frame liquidity sweep like the previous day's high. Otherwise, yeah, I guess that would be a decent opportunity to take. It could still play out. It's just not ticking all the boxes for me. All right, we're starting to break. Starting to break bullish order flow. This is our last level of defense for the bullish order flow. If we see the close below that, I'm going to exit my position, and that's going to mark the end of the live stream. Then we could sort of be looking at a lower time frame market structure shift and play maybe an inversion fair value gap back into the low. Yeah, kind of. We'll see how this candle is going to close. Like said, last level of defense. This is our break-in structure, bearish fair value gap, breaker block. Yeah, theoretically retested. We didn't take out the high one more time, so also bearish SMT divergence. But this is all looking at it under a microscope on a 1 minute time frame with already not really favorable price action on the Friday, with all these options expiring. Yeah, I'd be more careful. That's why I'm saying, yeah, for me it didn't tick all the boxes. I would have liked to see an actual buy-side liquidity pool to be rated before I'm taking a short on NQ. Until then, I'm gonna remain bullish. Might be wrong, but I'm also not taking any trades based on that. Alright, so we close below our bullish fair value gap, turning it into a inversion, starting to retest that fair value gap and seeing resistance here. Like that, last level of defense. Right here for ES, starting to retrace or continue lower, but I think I might just call it a session now. Let's see if we have any unanswered questions. It's 10:46. So guys on YouTube watching, if you have any more questions, now is the time to ask them. And also for Discord, I'm going to be calling it a week now. So yeah, please share your questions with me now. I'm still on long. I'm going to be sitting around doing some other stuff and waiting and watching this specific fair value gap. If we close lower than that, I'm going to be out of the long with some profits, small profits. No point for me to take partials right up here. I want to target buy side. And if price is not allowing me to do that, well, right now, we've been respecting bullish order flow here up until here. This would be a break-in structure. We close below our bullish fair value gap that initially held support, retesting our lowest bullish fair value gap that has been unfilled so far. Okay, after filling this, we retrace into our now inversion fair value gap right here, where we would anticipate resistance since we closed below it now. So bouncing in between these areas, we want to see where it's going to go from here. If our last level of defense here is going to hold and we push back above this area and continue our journey into buy side, or if the DXY pushing to the upside, EU heading further to the downside. Also the judgment day for the indices to now finally drop. And we just retraced on ES, and I wouldn't call it a retrace on NQ. On NQ we just pumped or slowly moved to the upside. So let's see. All right. Let's see if we have any more questions on YouTube. Nope, no new questions on YouTube. So yeah, that's really gonna conclude it for me today. You know the trade I'm in. You know the invalidation I'm looking for. We see the DXY moving up right now. EU about to take the low of the day again. We have targets to the downside, like we said earlier. For EU, I'm sort of more looking for, yeah, previous week's high and previous day's low to be hit out of this consolidation. But yeah, like always, anything could happen, especially for ES. Right between these two PD arrays right now, bullish fair value gap, inversion fair value gap. If we start to see resistance here that delivers below our bullish fair value gap, that bullish order flow theory of mine for the delivery into some more buy side liquidity would be negated. And that's going to be where I'm going to close the trade. All right. Any more questions? Now would be the time to ask. All right, not getting any questions. I'm going to give you guys a couple more minutes, but I have to get ready to head out, play some poker. Right, we're moving back to the upside. We kept on holding support on our last level of defense. NQ is also pushing back up. And yeah, that's just going to conclude it. You guys know the drill. We follow bullish order flow as long as it's presenting itself. Once we see our last level of defense fail, we're good to go, at least until our next buy side liquidity pool. What's going to happen afterwards, we will see. Getting a good push right here. Once again, a unfilled volume imbalance. We close back above our inversion fair value gap, so that's all looking good. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, a unfilled volume imbalance. Equal high buy side, high of our 5-minute bearish. Let's see how far we can take it. My target is going to be the midnight level paired with buy side liquidity right here. That should line up with NQ maybe hitting the previous day's high. We're pushing for that right now. Already formed a new high on NQ. So trying to short NQ today, would have been a pain in the ass. Really? Yeah. Long was the way to go. But like I said, once we saw that break in structure, I mentioned that doesn't tick all the boxes for me today. Don't see that higher time frame point of interest being swept. So yeah, that's why I didn't even think about really taking an entry. And yeah, we're just gonna take it from here. So thanks guys for joining in this week. I really appreciate it. Since there are no more questions, I think everything has been said. If you do have any, feel free to join us on Discord. The link for that is in the description box below here. Maybe you already are on Discord. Just send it into the general chat and ask me whatever you want. Trading related or not trading related, don't care. And if you want me to take a look at all your executions or share it and get some feedback from a community, well, I certainly would be doing that. Taking that as an opportunity. Yeah, take it or leave it. Otherwise, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this week. Next week, we're gonna have no news at all. I think so, I'm pretty sure. Let me check Forex Factory. Next week, apply settings. We have final GDP, unemployment claims, but at least nothing like PPI, CPI, FOMC news events. But we're getting closer and closer to, Christmas. Usually when we tend to not be as volatile anymore. Well, maybe volatile might be the wrong word to say here, but yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. All right. Now we have new inefficiencies and a new unfilled volume imbalance to potentially hold support. We're already holding support on that highest bullish fair value gap. Closing right at the high here. Nice. There goes the expansion. There goes NQ towards our target, previous day's high. Yes is pretty far away from that. Wouldn't say it's impossible. All right, you guys know the drill. Target here at buy side until we stop using bullish fair value gaps as support. It's going to be it. 5-minute time frame. Let's see if we, before we enter stream, get to close above our 5-minute bearish. That would be another very healthy sign that we want to continue into the buy side. Then we are inside this 5-minute bearish. The only thing that's separating from price from taking out this buy side. We have another 5-minute bearish fair value gap right here. We closed above, and note how we open up. We opened up with a bullish fair value, bullish volume imbalance. Buy side liquidity. Inversion fair value gap. We already retested it, dropping it down to a 1 minute. Tiny little bullish fair value gap here. What's the time? It's 10:55, so we're inside our macro right now. Just keep an eye on it. I'm sure you can do it. I have to get going now, unfortunately. So yeah, that's gonna wrap up the live stream. I've said it a couple of times before, but now it actually is time. All right, guys, thanks very much for joining in today. Take care and enjoy your weekend. We will be back next week. Bye.